All right, everyone, get into the top prop bets for this Taco Tuesday. All right, so right now, as it sits, the taco that's available is going to be Max Scherzer for over 4.5 strikeouts. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to find the 5 best individual props to pair with this individually. Now, we could also find some potential NFL props to go ahead and stack with the tacos as well. Both will work in the long term. That'll be a long-term profitable approach. But just starting off right away, just real quickly, starting with the Odds Jam Optimizer. If we look at this prop for aces for the WTA, we can see PrizePicks has the line set at 8. Underdog has it set at 6.5. So we are liking the under. That's going to be one of the prop bets that I go ahead and use with the taco. And then also going to be looking at the hitting fantasy score here as well. So guys, the only hesitation I have is that this has been hitting, like, I think it's 7 straight times now, where, once again, just recapping it, where the Vegas line and the projected line are both over the PrizePicks line by at least 2. We can see that by the prop line difference here, okay? We see that with Aaron Judge, and we see that with Jose Altuve. Now, the worry is that it has been running hot a little bit too much frequently, right? If it was hitting at that rate that it has been, that they just wouldn't be including these hitting fantasy score props anymore. So it is expected to come down. I always say this, but it hits about 2 out of 3 times. But those are going to be 2 that we're going to go ahead and use with the taco as well. And now we're going to see we're not really getting any other extremely good ones out there. I will say, looking at NFL receptions here, and I'll just pull that up here on the NFL sheet, is I actually don't mind the idea of TJ Hawkinson for over his receptions. This is going to be for the Thursday night football game. We can see it has about a 53.26% chance to hit. We look at TJ Hawkinson from the last game. It was pretty much the exact same production that we saw from him last year when he joined the Minnesota Vikings. For some reason, I shouldn't say for some reason, obviously TJ Hawkinson a good talent, but Kirk Cousins just loves to target him, and obviously 9 targets. I think he has a good chance to get 5 receptions in that game, and I would argue maybe a better matchup for tight ends, maybe about the same. And then for what it's worth, Dallas Goedert as well. He's someone that had a bad game along with kind of the rest of the Eagles-ish offense, at least pass catchers, I would say. I mean, Dallas Goedert had a bad game. Let's just put it that way. 0 points, right? I feel like this would be a correction game, so I don't mind the over, and we can see a little bit of discrepancy there. Sportsbooks have it set at 43, and they're favoring that about a 50%. Underdog has it set at 42. PrizePicks has it at 41. A slight edge there, nothing too crazy, but that's going to be one that I like. That has a 52% chance to hit. And then from there, not going to be too much that I love just yet. So now we go ahead and look at maybe some potential discrepancies that we can be on. And we do get a few. I mean, we can see maybe betting the unders for the shots attempted in soccer. Those are all looking like pretty good ones. We have some passing props. Wow, those don't really pop up too much. So we do have some options, right? That's just what I'm trying to give you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my favorite bets right now, my 5 favorite bets to pair with that taco, and then I'm going to go ahead and get into some stacks that we could potentially run out as well. All right, so looking at these are going to be my favorite bets for the day. We got 2 really good hitting fantasy score props. I bet if we get another Aaron Judge one as well for the afternoon, it's going to be a good one there as well. We will see. They got 2 games there, and then just a good EV bet going with less aces there, and then 2 decent ones in terms of discrepancies. Underdog has the line set at 1.5. You could also bet the over on Underdog there, and then just TJ Hawkinson. I think he's going to continue to get those targets. Let's hope that those targets are going to lead to receptions again. And now just real quickly, trying to find maybe some potential stacks that we can be on. I do think that the Cincinnati Bengals are going to have a better day passing than what they had, obviously, against Cleveland. It's not going to get much worse than that. The biggest thing that we saw on film was that Joe Burrow was literally just having to push the ball out rather than throw it. He just couldn't handle the wet football. And so I am kind of very curious as to if we could potentially run out a stack between maybe him and T. Higgins, just because his yardage total is lower and the production was there. It's just the weather. And so I like the fact that we are getting a low receiving line for him. There's the potential to run a stack up with him and Joe Burrow. And then for what it's worth, I really don't see how the Houston Texans are going to leave that film session without saying we need to get Dameon Pierce the ball a lot more frequently. We need to give him 20 touches per game, because I felt like they had lost the game because they kind of went away from him in weird situations. And then obviously look at what the Colts just gave up on the ground to the Jaguars last week. That was a lot. ETN had a really good game, and also Tank Bigsby, okay. So I just it just would make sense for him to get more work. Amari Cooper's a guy that I think I like as well. For over 55.5 receiving yards. He played in that poor weather game as well, was able to manage 37 yards there. I thought the offense looked pretty sharp. Nick Chubb was really efficient as a runner, which should lead to easier pass attempts for Deshaun Watson and obviously then Amari Cooper. And then for what it's worth, like Deshaun Watson's passing yards is pretty low as well. The worry is that Pittsburgh doesn't show up again and Nick Chubb just has his way with them, kind of like what happened with the Niners. Nick Chubb and that offensive line were very impressive for the Browns. And obviously the Niners just ran all over the Steelers. That's my biggest worry, is that we see that be the strength of the game again, is the rushing game for the offense against the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. If it's not, if they can at least hinder some production, it's not just freaking a knife through butter, then Deshaun Watson, Amari Cooper are okay stacked. And for what it's worth, you could maybe run out a correlated stack there if you wanted to, really. Nick Chubb over rushing yards, it's like at like 90 or something, and then under for Watson and Cooper if you chose to go with that route. I don't hate that. I'm actually very curious with Mac Jones as well, just for another stacking opportunity. Kind of balled out, and if they're going to be throwing it that much, you kind of think that they're going to be playing from behind in this game. Now, I know the last time we played Miami, only 204 for passing yards, but maybe, just maybe, he can do that, have a really good game again. The issue that I have with that is that we're not getting any stacking opportunities with him. That's going to be due to some injury news that we are waiting on. And then also just real quickly, Calvin Ridley, man, Trevor Lawrence really had some tunnel vision going with him. I felt like he missed a bunch of receivers because he was heavily targeting Calvin Ridley. And obviously it worked out. And this could either go one of two ways. They're going to watch film and be, all right, let's not tunnel vision to Calvin Ridley too much, because there's a couple plays where, Evan Ingram was wide open. A couple of the other tight ends were wide open on some other plays. So, do they both have a chance to get the over? Yeah. Would I rather bet on Ridley because it did seem like there's tunnel vision there? Yes. But it wouldn't be shocking to see like Evan Ingram crushed. That's more of like a GPP DFS type play. But that's it, guys. I just want to give you guys some more information just in case you guys get here a little bit later. I know a couple of the games are going to be starting earlier on this afternoon. So I want to give you guys some NFL content out there. Obviously, that cheat sheet is going to be updating throughout the day. So, be taking a look. Make your best bet possible at the time of the tacos coming out. That's going to be all for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give a like and subscribe. Let's have a good slate. And as always, let's keep cashing.